agencies are a huge pain to deal with. So it's hard to build a business on the back of an agency. Yet the marketers look to you as an advisor, a trusted source. Yet you have your own point of view. You've got a bias. You've got an agenda. How do you tease that out? How do you work through that?
So I think we face the same challenge from a different angle, which is how do you decide what's valuable enough to bring forward to a client and what's a waste of their time. But I think agencies need to do a better job at that. I think part of it is we have to decide what practice areas we build in this environment where things
practice
are changing.
Areas meaning sort of areas of excellence,
social.
true
Yep.
Areas where you have depth and expertise.
Yep. And
what you don't do.
And what we don't do, which then leads to actual real partnerships with people as opposed to sort of vendor relationship. And I think that's difficult. It gets into a level of collaboration that hasn't been true in the past, but agencies actually need to do it. But I think you're right. I mean, the fact is meeting with suppliers is one part of everyone's job, and it's just really hard to see everyone and to be thoughtful about it. I think it would be hard to be in the position of trying to build a business via an agency. I don't know, there's certainly no malintent. It's just it's difficult.
And what are the challenges you're facing? I mean, many argue, and there are some in this room who may themselves argue, because you may be in companies that are doing this, that technology is eating away at the agency value proposition. That the art of advertising is becoming more science, and that technologists who are employing that science are therefore eating away at the art-based value proposition. And I see Pamela nodding her head, so I want to come to you in a minute. But go ahead. So how do you react to that?
So that doesn't bother me. I don't have a bad reaction. I don't think it's true.
You don't think it's true?
So I think if you look at kind of like a middle lane, sort of a core of what agencies always do, it's about crafting messages and delivering messages. But I think there's a ton of opportunity for agencies to do a lot more than that. I mean, to me, if it's more complicated than it's ever been to communicate with people, you need expertise more than you ever needed before. Now, maybe agencies need to do different things, but I think you can move upstream and start doing work that looks a lot more like management consulting work or even product design work. And then I think you move downstream and you really get into not just kind of, sometimes we talk about campaign stewardship, which sounds passive, but really actively managing programs to an outcome. I think there's a huge opportunity there too. So I think things are changing, but I don't think technology is a threat to agencies.
No, but I do think it's changing the way clients work and view with the agencies. I mean, I can't tell you how many times a week I say art versus science, all of the time. And I think that with the digital technology on the rise, that you have so much more access to the numbers. They go so much deeper. You can measure everything to a fault sometimes. That the art, that the qualitative piece of it is getting lost. And that you're really, it's, okay, what are the numbers telling you? Okay, so this is what I'm going to do.
So how are you measured, for example?
Right, and exactly.
How are you measured?
I'm measured, so I support the online sales channel, so I'm measured, all the way down to the bottom.
By the numbers.
By the numbers. It is by the numbers. And it becomes hard to start defending some of the work that we're doing, particularly display, and I'm sure many people are facing it. It's that, is display really acquisition driven? It's not usually the last click, so you can't really measure it, but it plays a role in that path to conversion. And so what value does it serve? And I find myself constantly defending it because it's just not driving that strong ROI like search might be driving.